Hello students, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, The Chakifa's Commerce Classes. In today's session, we'll discuss about the objectives of a business. So these are the main objectives of a business. Now students, we are aware that the main purpose of starting any business is to earn profits, right? So if a businessman, if he lays all the emphasis only on earning profits and he neglects his responsibilities towards its stakeholders, then this could be a problematic situation to the businessman. Now we have to remember who are the stakeholders. The stakeholders comprises of your customers, your employees, your society, your investors and so on. Now why is it important that you have a very cordial relationship with your stakeholders? Now let's discuss it one by one. For example, the first one is your customer. So as a businessman, it is important that you see to it that you fulfill all the needs and expectations that a customer has from your product. It is also important that you provide the product at a reasonable price and at a good quality, right? This is a responsibility towards your customer. Moving forward to your employees. We have to remember that employee is one of the biggest asset any company or any organization has. So your productivity will automatically increase if your employees are happy with the workplace. So it is important that you give your employees the importance that they really deserve. It is important you pay them on time. If they have done overtime work, then you pay them for the overtime hours. So all these things come for the employees. Next could be the investors. So who are the investors? So investors are basically those individuals who have invested their amount into your company. So it is your responsibility that you see to it that they get at least a fair amount of return on the investments that they have made into your company. And the last is the society. You have to remember that business cannot start and operate in isolation without being a part of the society. So business is a part of society and business exists because of the society. So it is a responsibility of the business that as and when the business is doing really well, it should pay back to the society. Now this could be done either by building bridges or maybe bus stops and so on. So all these are the responsibilities that every businessman has to fulfill. Just mere attention on earning profits is not the right thing. The businessman also has to concentrate on all the different responsibilities that he has towards the stakeholders. So apart from earning profits, there are various other multiple objectives that every firm aims to achieve. So the first objective is to earn profits. So as I said earlier students, that the main objective of any business is to earn profits. So it is important that every business aims at earning profits in the long run. So when a company is newly started, what happens is the main objective then is just to survive into the market. So once the company survives, then the company thinks about growth and expansion. So it is important that the company aims at achieving maximum profits in the initial stages. Because what happens is due to the increasing competition and the number of competitors in the market, it becomes very difficult for a company to survive in the long run. So in the initial stage, the main objective should be to earn minimal profits and to survive in the market. So this is the first objective. Moving forward to the second one is the market standing. So what is market standing? So in the long run, what happens is the survival is one of the important key aspects that has to be taken into consideration. Now when will your company survive? You have to remember that your basic motive should be that the customer should be satisfied with your product. So customer satisfaction should be your top priority, because once the customer is satisfied with your product, the customer will come for repeat purchase, right? So once a customer is dissatisfied, the customer will not come for a repeat purchase. So market share is basically the amount of share that you have captured as compared to your competitors, okay? So it is said that higher market share is always good. It means that your company's strategies are working in place and your products are gaining popularity. On the other hand, if you have a very low market share, it means that your products are not very well accepted by the public and there are a lot of wastages that are happening, and that's why your market share is reduced. When will your market share reduced? When your final output is very less, right? If your output is less, the amount of goods that you will sell will also be less. So here what happens is that a lower productivity leads to lower market share. So this is point number 2. The next objective is increasing productivity. Now we have to remember what is productivity. Productivity is output divided by input. It means there are two parts. One is high productivity and one is low productivity. You have to remember, students, that high productivity is always good for the company and low productivity is not good. Okay, so how can we achieve the high productivity? Now, high productivity is achieved when the amount of output is much more as compared to the inputs, and low productivity is when your input is more and the output is less. Now, when can low productivity take place? When there is no optimum utilization of resources and a lot of wastages. So, when the employees are not giving the 100%, that is when they are not concentrating in the production process, and what they do is they kind of increase the wastages, and due to which the final product that has been produced is very less. So, when the output is less, the quantity that you will sell into the market will also be less, right? And after selling it, the profit that you generate, that will also be less. So, as a company, you have to always focus on increasing the productivity. A low productivity is never good for the company, whereas a high productivity is beneficial for the company in the long run. So, moving forward to the fourth point, that is innovation. Now, what is innovation? Innovation is basically a change. Now, see, when I have started my company, okay, there are some things which may be in fashion during that period of time, but maybe after 5 to 10 years, those things will be outdated, right? So, I cannot say that I will start with only those things and I will not change myself, because what happens is I have to change with the changing world, because my competitors will come up with so many things and I will just stay back there. So, what will happen? My customers will suddenly switch to the competitor's product because they are getting more features from the product of the competitor. So, it is very important to bring innovation. Now, innovation need not necessarily be in the product, it can also be in the production process. So, but innovation is a kind of change which is very important. Like for example, we can take an example of mobile phones. Okay, we know that back then we had the black and white phones. Those black and white phones were then replaced with QWERTY type phones, right? We had those keypad. Next, it was changed with touch screens, and now we have touch screens with so many new features coming up. So, what happens is, with the changes that are coming up, every mobile industry or every mobile company, they also had to incorporate these changes. No mobile company could say that we are only going with QWERTY, we are not going with touchscreen. So, as the changes are taking place, the changes in the demands of the customers need to be acknowledged, because at last it is the customer who will buy your product, and therefore you have to innovate for the customer so that you get the customers. So, this is point number 4, innovation. Now, the next objective is physical and financial resources. Now, every company requires two kinds of resources. One is the physical and the second is the financial resources. So, what are physical resources? Physical resources include your assets. It could be your land and building, your plant and machinery, your furnitures and so on. So, these are the physical resources which a company requires in order to start a business. So, what are financial resources? Financial resources are basically the funds through which the company will make the products and sell it to the customer. Now, what happens is every business requires capital. Now, it depends upon the business, the sources through which it kind of takes the capital. Now, for example, the businessman has various other options. It could be through equity shares, through preference shares, through debentures, or maybe through loans, or through retained earnings, or borrowing from some friend or relative, and so on. So, what happens is a businessman has different options through which it can raise the amount of funds it requires. Now, it is important that a businessman raises only that much amount of fund that is required, because if you raise much more than what you actually require, those funds will be idle. So, it is very important that you do not keep any funds idle and you kind of raise only that much amount of funds which are necessary. So, this is about physical and financial resources. Next is workers' performance and attitude. Now, we have to remember that attitude is a state of mind, okay? And workers' performance is very important because it is linked to the productivity. So, if the workers' performance is good, definitely the productivity will increase. And if the workers' performance is not good or not satisfactory, then the productivity will be low. So, what can be done on the part of the businessman to kind of increase the productivity? So, it is important to treat your workers really well. You have to make them believe that it is a family. The entire company is a family and you all are there for each other. It is important that you pay them the salary on time, because sometimes some companies they do not pay their employees the salary on time. You have to remember that salary delayed is equals to salary not paid. So, it is important that you pay them salary on time, because most of the time maybe they are the single earner from the family. Secondly, it could be that you have to do various welfare services to the employees. Thirdly, you have to give them a good working condition through which they can be comfortable at the workplace, and so on. So when you do all these things for the workers, the worker also feels that the owner is thinking so much about us. So we also have to think about the owner and kind of help him to achieve his objectives. So you have to remember that you cannot expect that you treat an employee not in a very good way and still his productivity will increase. You have to remember that his performance will increase only when you treat him well. So you have to remember that workers' performance and productivity, they both are linked to each other. If the workers are happy, they will genuinely do the work and therefore their productivity will increase. And when the workers are not happy, what they will do is they will not perform in a good manner and it will impact your productivity, which will become low. So these are all the objectives of a business. So if there are any queries or any suggestions, please put it down in the comment section. Thank you.